Well, welcome to Reggie's Sleepout, day three.
Day three.
This is exciting. Day three. And Toby, how many more days have we yet to go? 7?
Yeah, 7 more days. You're right.
Okay, so 7 more days that folks that are watching this, you can get involved. You can share it with folks. Get the word out there because we're talking about Reggie's Sleepout at home. So it looks a little bit different. I know a lot of folks know about Reggie's Sleepout and what it's looked like in the past. It's been an in-person event. What's exciting about this year is everybody can jump on board, no matter who you are, no matter even what health condition ultimately you're in, you can still take part in this and be a part of Reggie's Sleepout at home. So I have with me tonight just one person.
That's right.
But he is almighty. This is Toby O'Berry, our IHYC, that's Iowa Homeless Youth Center director. And he runs a lot of operations out of 612 in Des Moines. Maybe you've heard that. And servicing youth all throughout the state and, of course, ultimately all throughout the country, because Iowa, like I was talking about last night, we go everywhere. We impact border to border all around the world. So, Toby, welcome tonight.
Thanks for hosting again, Rusty. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm honored to be asked to host this. I host YSS Let's Talk Live on every Thursday night for YSS, and Toby and Blake, who you don't see right now, but Blake's running all the operations of this behind the scenes, and they asked me to host this, and again, truly an honor, because this is, I tell you what, Toby, I've learned more about Reggie's Sleepout than I ever knew before, and it's really, really excited me so much today that rarely do I do a video post on Facebook, like with my iPhone, just like holding it up, and kind of like this, and trying to video myself. And I did it today on Facebook. And talking about Reggie's Sleepout, trying to excite folks and get them to know that there's still time to get involved with this, because we have 7 more days. Folks can go to www.reggiessleepout.org, find out all the information that we're talking about. But let's go here. Toby, for the folks that are tuning in right now, talk about Reggie's Sleepout. Give a quick 411, why we're doing this, why it's so important.
It's really twofold: raising awareness around youth homelessness and raising funds to be able to support youth that are homeless, as well as lifting up and honoring and remembering Reggie Kelsey, a youth who aged out of foster care and was found deceased beside the side of the Des Moines River. And so Reggie's Sleepout is named in his honor. And this year's event, we're bringing the event to everyone in the community, and you can social distance, give back, and safely participate at your home, either in your backyard, in your living room. You can see the website right there, reggiesleepout.org. I ended up even speaking with a young family that participated last night, and they were so appreciative of the event and thankful to be able to educate their children about youth homelessness in the community. So it's a great event, and I just challenge everyone to come out, grab your tent out of your basement and sleep out in your yard or your living room, and learn about youth homelessness here in Central Iowa.
Okay, so again, anybody ultimately can be a part of this. And real quick, I know that, we kind of have a little bit of a script that we go off of here, but talk about some of the creative ways that folks can sleep out, that they can get involved, that they can be a part of this, because that's what excites me. I mean, is all the different creative ways I've been hearing lately of people taking part in this.
Yeah, really, the sky's the limit. We've had some people sleep on their living room couch. Some people sleep in their kitchen. We've had lots of people in their backyards, in tents. One young man was just in a sleeping bag with his family. He wanted to be outside the tent, trying to kind of understand a little bit of what our youth goes through on a daily basis, because we work with 650 youth a year at our agency, and a lot of our youth are struggling and are on the streets. This event isn't to show someone what it's like to be homeless. It's just to lift up and honor Reggie Kelsey, and help people raise awareness around youth homelessness. So really, it's not a one-to-one experience of what homelessness is like. It's really just raising awareness around the issue.
Yeah, and that's it. And educating.
Mhm.
That's one thing I love. I heard from somebody who is doing Reggie's Sleepout at home right now, and they said they love the opportunities of just having the open dialogue with their kids right now about what's going on. And, you know, we're blessed. I'm blessed to have a beautiful home, to be able to sleep in a bed, and so just that opportunity to not necessarily sleep in your bed or to go in a tent or sleep on the sofa, as you said, or what, it opens up dialogue with the family or with those that you might be doing it with to talk about, you know, this issue. And there's definitely, you were also just talking about a twofold aspect, raising awareness, but also raising funds. So let's talk about that just a little bit, and talking about the impact of this. So what is, well, I'll just let you go. What's some of the impact that folks can have jumping
Well, I
on?
think tonight we wanted to share a little bit, kind of at that $200 level.
Okay.
What the impact is, if you raise $200, you provide a $200 gift. One of the things that our youth struggle with is the cost of school, the kind of hidden costs like textbooks, and how much those cost. And so $200 would help one of our youth that's going to school have textbooks for a semester. So for our youth, that, and for anyone, that's a big deal. And sometimes hurdles are textbooks and the costs of them. And so that $200 would provide that support for textbooks. Last night, we talked a little bit about our street outreach van and the gas expense. And at the 200 level, it would cover all of the parking expense for our street outreach van for a month that we utilize. And so that's the van that goes out into the community, finds youth who are sleeping on the streets, and provides supportive services. It's one of my favorite programs because we literally go out looking for people who need help instead of waiting for them to present at our agency. It's really innovative to go out to find someone instead of having someone call in and say, come on down and we'll help you. We're trying to come out and find these youth and intervene sooner. And then the third impact that we were going to share is around technology. So really, even due to COVID-19 now, a lot of our services are over the telephone. We have telehealth services. A lot of our youth are going to school or will be going to school and have to have technology. So $200 to provide one youth with that technology for a whole month. So those are kind of some of the ways that individuals can provide impact participating at Reggies Sleepout.
And on a recent YSS Let's Talk, we were talking about the PSERT program, which we'll capture on a little bit later for those who have no idea what I just said. But one thing that we were also talking about is the technology. And you don't think about it until you realize how much you use your phone and what you use your phone for. I mean, even job interviews. If you're setting up for job interviews, if you're looking for housing, if you're looking for, and to have that number, and wow, I mean, just the impact alone that has, and any amount, folks, any amount can drastically make a difference with youth that we serve and the homeless youth. So the $200 kind of right now is the goal that we're talking about, providing textbooks for a semester, covering parking for the street outreach van, which I've seen that street outreach van, by the way. It is awesome. And even connecting a wireless device, which again, we were just talking about how extremely, extremely important that is. For those who are taking part right now with Reggie's Sleepout, and be it you're sleeping on your sofa, you're camping out in a tent, maybe you have an RV, maybe you're doing something else creative. Maybe you're even sleeping on the floor. You're doing something different. Can you take a picture for us? Can you get a picture and do this? If you're tech savvy and you like to do the hashtag action, go put a hashtag in front of it and put RSOA at home. So hashtag or RSO at home, and let us share that, because it can really inspire others, kind of, I don't know, get the creative juices going for other folks that are taking part of Reggie's Sleepout at home. You can also just go to the Facebook page of Reggie's Sleepout. I'm sure. I mean, Toby, is that cool? Can folks?
Yeah. Yep. Just tag us, IHYC, DSM, or Reggie Sleepout Facebook page as well. Either one.
Okay. And I also know that there's an incentive involved with this as well. So,
Right.
and
Yep.
I actually need a chair. I'm still planning on actually. Hey, Paul, he's in the kitchen right now. We're camping out. I didn't tell you about that, but FYI. So get the tent ready. So next week we're going to be camping out. And does that mean that if I take pictures, I'm in the drawing for the chair too?
Yep. You're in the drawing. So it's a random drawing. 2 groups will win a free lawn chair for any post that they tag with a picture from Reggie Sleepout at home.
Okay. Did you hear that? Free chair, possibly. So we got to get some creative pictures going on. So for everybody to watch, he's looking at me like, say what? What are we? Okay. But he knows everything that's going on, and we're excited because, again, it's all about community, getting folks together to really, like you said, raise awareness, of course, also raise some funds with this. So we also like to highlight a team that takes part every night. You're an individual, you're a couple, whatnot. There's also teams that are jumping on board, be it a youth group, be it a business organization. Again, folks, still 7 days to jump on board and get a part of this. But every night we like to highlight a team. And tonight's team, Toby?
I'm going to give you the acronym, and you tell me if you can figure out where they're from. So it's DCGHS.
Why are you doing this to me? DCGHS.
I'll give you a hint. The HS is high school.
Okay, so I'm looking so I can actually see it spelled out here, if I can. So DC. You said D as in
dog.
Oh, that's cheating. I was hoping you were going to give it to me. So Des Moines.
No, it's Dallas Center Grimes.
Oh, really? Oh, I should have got that. Blast it. Now
that's a hard one. So, yep, Dallas Center Grimes High School. They've been a longtime supporter of Reggie Sleepout. They sleep out every year at Drake Stadium. They have a team. Their high school is very supportive and rally around the cause around youth homelessness. They have over 15 campers from the high school within their team, and they have a goal of raising $2,000. So a big shout out to Dallas Center Grimes. They're such a great team and a great school that kind of gives back to the community.
Oh my gosh, that is all. Okay, so Dallas Center Grimes. I hope A, you're watching this. B, I hope you're sharing this to get the word out. But now going back to A, watching this, let me talk to you real quick. Share some photos. All right, we want some photos, and we want to see what you're doing and how you're camping out and how ultimately you're inspiring others to do the exact same. So big shout out again, congratulations to Dallas Center Grimes High School. And you said 15, over 15 campers.
Yep. They have 15 people registered. They're probably going to be growing even more. So currently in the system, they have 15 participants.
Really? Wow. Okay. Awesome sauce. So, and that reminds me, I just saw a comment up on the screen, reminds me that we're live right now, Toby. So it is cool. So those that are tuning in live, you can actually make a comment and inspire some others, or put some words of encouragement in there. And of course, if you have a question about something too, you got the expert, Toby O'Berry, right here. Sorry, Toby, threw you under the bus there, but he is the expert. He knows all the answers.
I think all my staff know the answers. I just support them. So
well, but you've also been part of Reggie's Sleepout for how many years?
8 years.
8 years. So you have quite a bit of the experience and quite a bit of knowledge there. And I was also, when I was doing my little Facebook video today, holding up my iPhone straight to my face, which was probably really too close to my face, and I was talking. One of the things I said was something we talked about the other night, which was, you talk about homeless youth, and I think a lot of people think that it's not really an issue here. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that, so what's the big hype about it? And every night on our live broadcast, we like to share some statistics and facts to, again, raise awareness. And please, anything that we're talking about, folks, share this with other people. Let them know what we're talking about. So tonight, Toby, what are some statistics or facts that we can share?
So some of the things we wanted to highlight tonight was just the propensity and significance of the fact that most of the youth that we serve have been victimized and or have been victim of a crime. So 100% last year of the youth that we worked with had been a victim of a crime in their life, which for those of us that aren't interacting or victimized that much, it's a shocking statistics to think about. Every youth that comes through our door has been victimized and has been so it's eye-opening, but it's also one of the reasons that we have to have a trauma lens in the ways that we provide services to the youth that we work with. So you can see kind of that second stat. We provided therapy services to over 80 youth in 2018, which is a large number. It's very difficult to have a youth engage in your programmings and even to go through therapy because they've gone through so much trauma in their lives. So all of our staff, all of our therapists are trained in trauma-informed care, which is a significant skill set. And so kind of boiling it down, trauma-informed care is really working with a youth. And when a youth acts up and does something negative, something bad, or something significant, instead of chastising them or saying, hey, knock it off, you really dive deeper and you say, what happened to you, which is causing you to behave in this manner? So it's kind of reframing and looking at it from a different perspective. And it's very difficult for our new staff on board to understand trauma-informed care. But it's really looking at, okay, this individual went through a lot of trauma. They're doing some negative behaviors now. Let's dive deeper, peel back the onion, and see what is causing them to have negative behaviors currently. And it's really innovative, and it's a way that our agency operates.
Yeah, and I have been through a lot of training as well, working for YSS and being a prevention specialist. And even, we call something ACEs, which I know, Toby, you're familiar with that term. And just knowing, like you say, that trauma, and looking at these statistics there was 80, you say, that were involved in therapy, right?
Yes. Yep.
But now that's not how many that you serve. No. Because how many a year go through? And I'll say, is it IHYC or 612 or?
Yep. So through IHYC, it's 650 youth.
Wow, 650 youth that go through just here in small Iowa.
Yep.
Go through the Iowa Homeless Youth Center.
Just in Des Moines. So.
And talking about these services in the program, another thing we like to do every single night, and for the next 7 nights here with Reggies Sleepout at home, is kind of give a shout out, but also highlight one of our educational services and the programs or what we provide here. And I'm just going to pass it right over to you, Toby, because I already said PSERP, which that's but PSERP. So what is PSERP and what are we talking about?
So it's the Postsecondary Education Retention Program, which we lovingly refer to as PSERP.
Okay, and so I think we have a little video here to recap and talk about PSERP.
Yep.
At the heart of every interaction with our youth is the goal to meet individuals where they are at in life. The population that we serve face many barriers when pursuing educational goals that their peers may not realize. According to the National Foster Care Institute, nationwide, only about half of the youth served in foster care end up finishing high school, and less than 3% graduate from a 4-year college or university. The main goal of the Postsecondary Education Program, or PSERP, is to help our young adults navigate those challenges and give them the confidence to reach their educational goals. PSERP participants are ages 18 to 25 years old, are classified within a low-income bracket, are currently experiencing homelessness, or are at risk for homelessness. Each participant chooses to receive guidance and academic support for a commitment of 2 years or more and receives a monthly stipend as well as guidance from our PSERP coordinator, Mike Hammond.
My name is Mike Hammond, and I am the Postsecondary Education Retention Program Advocate. So I coordinate the Postsecondary Education Retention Program here at Iowa Homeless Youth Centers. Education, we understand, to be a gateway to opportunity. And often for our population, opportunity is really what is lacking. All of our students are academically capable, and they just need further support. And so it was identified that there were a lot of young people who didn't necessarily have the resources to continue to pursue their degree. And that was the thing that was holding them back, not necessarily their academic ability, but things like childcare, need for part-time employment, just need to help understand how to navigate the higher education system. And so because of that identified need, some folks in the community decided that there should be a program for this. And so United Way of Central Iowa and YSS partnered about a decade ago to start a program to support those youth. The Post-Secondary Education Retention Program supports youth who are 18 to 25 as they pursue a post-secondary education certificate or degree of their choice. And it does that through quick case management and through a small stipend every month to help our students with their everyday needs, from educational expenses to housing to transportation. So the goal of the program is really to just help youth persist through a certificate or degree to help them get a better job.
I was in the foster care at age 14. I was traumatized very early on and then started acting out and didn't know why, a lot of mental health issues. And then I got into treatment and I kind of thrived. I remember telling quite a few people, I'm not going to college, I'm not doing this. And then 4 years later, I got a full ride to Drake. I'm starting grad school in the fall for occupational therapy. About a year and a half ago, they're like, you can go to PSERP and get more help with education because that's really all you're needing help with. And I'm like, awesome. Extra support for college would be nice because it's rough.
A lot of the work that we do at IHYC is about building relationships with young people and building that trust, and so that they can allow us to help them to pursue their goals and to better their lives. What we do in PSERP is meet with our students one-on-one on a regular basis in order to build that ongoing relationship, and then help them to connect with other folks that they might be less familiar with in the school in this case, or maybe it's a caseworker at a different community organization. So we work directly with our youth. PSERP has case management. So I meet with students twice a month, at least, if not more, if they need it. And we work on all sorts of different things, whether it be personal goals, whether it be them needing assistance with academics, whether they might need help with applying for a job. The case management is really there to meet that student where they are when there is an issue. So those sorts of things might be also learning how to manage money, learning how to balance a budget. Some of those other life skills that come along with transitioning from being a young person who lives with your parents or your foster parents to being an independent adult.
We don't know sometimes how to ask for help, so we won't go talk to the teacher and say this needs to be done, or I'm struggling, I need help. We'll just be like, all the adults in our lives before haven't cared, so why should we go talk to somebody? Resources can be hard to find on college, especially if you're not going to talk to people. And so aftercare or Mike can help you figure out where you need to go to get the help you need, instead of just floundering and not knowing what to do. I'm the exception. If I don't go to class, I feel bad. And I have to do a mental health check, hey, you're fine. It's a typical college thing.
All right, and so there you have it. That was a great, capture of the PSERP program, and I mean a shout out to those who took part in that video, and that was actually broadcast, I believe, from IHYC.
That was the second floor
correct?
of the Youth Opportunity Center downtown.
Yeah. So that absolutely wonderful, and I also saw something that I wanted to bring up real quick. You see the scrolling thingamabobber in the bottom of the screen. For those who are jumping on board here, and everybody needs to take part in Reggie's Sleepout at home, you actually get an email every day with different activities, different educational opportunities, conversation starters to talk about homeless youth, and again, kind of the awareness. And every day there's a focus activity. And I have to say, I'm still roaring about yesterday's activity. So cool. Again, talked about it on my Facebook video that I put it out there. And it was this shopping video where ultimately you had to shop on a budget, and it was virtual. And you had to decide how much money you had, what you could spend it on, what you couldn't spend it on, different dilemmas that would come up that would make it so you couldn't spend this, and absolutely incredible. Is there a activity today or so what was that like?
So the activity today is really around, similar to PSERP, the Postsecondary Education, is around the cost of higher education. And I think just for families and children and youth to understand the true cost of higher ed, talking about textbooks and room and board, private college, public college, 2-year college, kind of all those costs and things. This activity is where individuals can come together and kind of guess about some of those costs, and then have some conversation around what are the true costs of college, and how do people get through that expense and that cost. And I think part of the post-secondary education retention program is Mike. So shout out to Mike Hammond, our staff who was interviewed, just going through financial aid forms for 18 youth on his caseload, and all of those youth to understand what does it cost, how much can I borrow, scholarship applications, the FAFSA application. There's a lot of complicated components to going to post-secondary schooling. And so our staff is there to kind of help youth through that whole process. And a big piece of the PSERP program is the R in that acronym, which is retention. Because a lot of our youth and people in general can get into school. There's money and you can take out loans and get in, but it's how do you retain, how do you stay enrolled and actually obtain your degree? And that retention is where Mike comes in and kind of advocates for that youth, helps connect them with the right tools and resources, is able to connect with all of their teachers, and really just be an advocate for that youth. Even simple things like if there's a class they don't want to take anymore, he can help them drop it before it counts as a letter grade on their grade point. Things like that maybe a youth doesn't understand. How can you turn that C into a B or an A? All those different components that if you have to try and do your post-secondary degree by yourself and you don't have some adult to help you, it's really overwhelming. And so you drop out. And so with the PSERP program, it's kind of flipping the switch and helping youth obtain their degree. The average success rate for community college for like a 2-year degree over a 4-year time period is 25% are able to get their degree. That's the broad kind of average. Within the PSERP program, we have an average of 50% that obtain their degree in that same time period.
Really?
This is with youth who are in crisis. This isn't even your baseline individual who's going to college. And so the program works. We have the tools and the resources set up to help youth be successful. And that's going to turn their average income from a $9 an hour wage to a $19 or a $20 or $25 an hour wage for the next 40 years. So it's breaking the cycle of poverty. And the PSERP program is part of that solution.
I mean, people that are listening to this, do you hear what we're talking about? And why we're so excited to have people find a way to be involved with Reggie Sleepout at home. This is what this is all about. Toby, I can only imagine. I mean, in an ideal situation, college isn't necessarily easy, or going to a secondary education institution, be it community college, a trade school, being at a university. And that's in an ideal situation. Now, can you fathom or imagine being homeless, or what opportunity? I mean, I can only imagine if I was homeless, that might not even seem like a possibility. And so the staff like Mike and the staff that you have provide that possibility, provide the resources, provide all of the I guess I'd say education, but like you say, the guidance that's needed to pursue that, if that's what they want to do. Truly, truly incredible. So this is what we're talking about. And this is why Reggie's Sleepout at home is so important. Can't encourage you enough. Still 7 days left. Registration open through Friday, September 11th. So you can go to www.reggiesleepout.org. And you can get these activities every single day to do with your family, to do with yourself, to do with your friends, to do with your team, your church group. Hey, if you have a church group, call them up right now and say, this week we got something awesome that we want to do. We have $71,282 raised, but that is not the goal. The goal is, and help me out here, Toby, but I believe 130,000.
That's right. Yep, 130, and 100% of the proceeds go directly back to the youth and the programs that are created to support them. 100%.
100% of everything that's raised go right back to the youth. It could not be a better win-win situation here. So please, if you're watching this, share this video, call some folks. And again, we have a challenge for you tonight that I'm going to jump to real quick. And that is call 2 relatives. Call 2 relatives tonight. And what are we asking those relatives to do, Toby?
We're asking them to donate $50 towards that individual's team that's participating at Reggie Sleepout.
Okay, so this is kind of like almost, I don't want to say a catch-22, but it's like you could even invite a team still to be a part of, and the incentive to get them to be a part of it is say, hey, I will chip in $50 to have you be a part of Reggie's Sleepout. And right there, we have actually even an easy script for you to use. And 2 relatives, give them a call, give them a Facebook message, give them an email, text them, I tweet them, and I'm not going to keep going with social media stuff, but yeah, get in touch with them is the important thing. And you can sponsor them by encouraging them, because I tell you what, when you put money behind what you're asking somebody to do, then they're obligated to do it as well. So like, I like that. That's a little enticing there, Toby, to encourage some folks to jump on board. And everybody, again, can be a part of this. Just go to www.reggiesleepout.org. And when you do this, no matter what night throughout the next 7 nights, take some pictures, because we want to show some pictures online. And I think we might have some pictures that we want to showcase. So let's, okay, Toby, I'm going to let you do the tutorial here.
Yep, this young man built a cardboard structure in his basement for Reggie's Sleepout, and they slept out last night.
Really?
Yep.
Look at that. Bravo. That's some construction work right there.
And there's another couple that they slept out in their backyard, and you'll see that sign right there, Rusty. And everyone who signs up and participates will receive a yard sign, and that's the yard sign that you'll get delivered to your front door, showing your neighbors and your family and coworkers that, and it says on there, I'm sleeping out to support homeless youth. So everyone who signs up gets that yard sign, and you can share it with your community.
Nice. So, and there's some pictures there too of quite a few tents.
Yep.
So there's, I mean, again, like you say, the sky is the limit about what you can do and how creative. And this year is, I love that picture. And bring the pets, bring the animals. You know, so even if you know, we've been joking about this for the past few nights, but if you have a goat, you can sleep with a goat. So we had Andrew Allen, our YSS CEO president, on this on our feed a couple nights ago, and he had a goat come up and kiss him right in the middle of the video. So hey, if you got a goat, you got chickens, have them sleep out with you too. But the big thing is, hey, take some pictures for us. Get those pictures out there, and you'll also be entered into a drawing for a team for a great chair. And I actually, like I say, I think I'm going to enter myself into that drawing as well. So again, as simple as going to reggiesleepout.org. Hey, if you are going to share some photos, you can do that on Facebook at Reggies Sleepout, or you can actually just hashtag it RSO at home. So again, that's hashtag RSO at home. I'm excited personally to see some of these pictures and include some more pets, because I'm an animal lover. So the more dogs and cats we can get involved, awesome. So
somebody's got to get a cat involved. We've had a couple dogs. We got to get a cat out there.
Did you hear that, Paul? We got to get our cats involved. I don't know how much they're going to like the tent, but we'll work on it. So.
Yeah.
Right, to all tuning in, make sure you share this video. Get the word out there about Reggie's Sleepout at home. Registration still open until September 11th. And if you have a team, a church team, an organization, if you're a part of a business, want to get them involved in this. If you're an individual, please get involved. reggiesleepout.org. Hey, Toby, anything that I missed tonight or anything to add?
Nope, just excited. We're kind of in the middle of the event, and we'll see everyone tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
All right. Well, hey, happy Labor Day to everyone as well. And please, again, tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Encourage others to tune in too to find out more information about Reggie's Sleepout at home. So thank you, Toby.
Thanks, Rusty.